Righto, g'day guys. Join me fart-assing around Lake Rotomar and Rotorua. And beautiful sunny day out for a ride. Nice to blow off the cobwebs after lockdown. This is my first real ride since New Zealand went into lockdown 2.0. Poor old Auckland mates are still in it. But yeah, just out enjoying it. And yeah, a few interesting things happening late. One of the big ones, Apple coming out and saying they don't want us to be using iPhones as motorcycle navigation, or at least not mounting them like I've got this iPhone 6s. Real interesting story that. Basically, newer iPhones have a mechanical camera, and they're a bit sensitive, is the way Apple puts it, to high frequency vibrations, which mics like my wee CRF250L Rally here are very good at. And from experience, they don't like it. So I've got a vibration dampener, I'll say, to start off with. And the iPhone 6s is the last iPhone model that is not susceptible so much to high frequency vibrations. The 6s Plus, however, is. So if you're looking for an old iPhone to use as your sacrificial navigation for iPhone, the 6s is the one to have. So I mounted, before Quadlock brought out their vibration dampener, I mounted my then brand new iPhone 11 to my Quadlock and used it for navigation. One ride was all it took to damage the camera, which was thankfully replaced under warranty. But that's the kicker, is with Apple recommending now that they don't think it's a great idea to mount a, particularly to high sort of, well, they say high production engines, which I think translates to high revving engines. Yeah, they don't recommend mounting their products at all, even with a vibration dampener. They have sort of listed a caveat that the vibration dampener might be okay with electric motorcycles, so Harley Davidson Livewires, all those little Super Socos and the like, and scooters. They think scooters and EVs are kind of okay, but they don't recommend it for your real motorbikes sort of thing. Which comes as an interesting point, an interesting time. Like, every motorcycle manufacturer these days has an app. Yamaha do, Ducati do, Triumph do, Harley do. I should actually find out if Honda do, actually, that'd be interesting. But it's so much part of the market now, and some manufacturers like Royal Enfield are sort of working their way around it by, they've got their neat little Tripper navigation pod that comes on the Himalayan now, on the Meteor, and it's an option on the Classic 350. That's an awesome little bit of kit. Triumph also has an accessory where you can chuck this little pod on your bike and it will give you turn-by-turn navigation. But are we going to see, as a result of this, a sort of resurgence in the likes of Garmin and TomTom? They've sort of, only the hardcore guys really seem to use those. But with phones getting more sophisticated and admittedly more fragile, might be a good time to look into the Garmin, which is the Zumo range, though they also have their neat little handhelds, which all the ADV guys use, or the TomTom, I think it's a Rider. But yeah, it's real interesting noting that Apple says they don't want, well, they don't recommend that their phones are used like this. I had an iPhone 8 which died on a big ride. Still haven't found out what was actually wrong with it, to be fair. But yeah, it's quite interesting, I find. Here we go, here's some gravel. Really time to blow out the cobwebs. Interestingly, Samsung hasn't come out and said anything. They make Android phones. So, it'd be interesting if any of those big Android phone makers sort of also say they don't recommend their stuff being used on bikes. Maybe it's all a conspiracy. maybe Garmin and TomTom are sort of making a play and then using back channel ways to get everyone into full-on